Welcome to Previously On, a podcast series created to help you through some of the most complex yet brilliant television ever made. Game of Thrones Season 1, Episode 6, The Golden Crown. We pick up straight after the last episode and Ned is injured from his fight with Jaime, facing Cersei and King Robert. A furious Cersei demands that Ned is held accountable for the attack on Jaime and the abduction of Tyrion. Robert, however, keen to hear Ned's side of the story, asks for her silence. Cersei persists with the demands against Ned and then insults Robert, who turns and strikes her across the face. Cersei tells him she will wear the bruise as a badge of honour. Robert restores Ned as the Hand of the King and orders him to get Catelyn to return Tyrion and make amends with Jaime. Before leaving, Robert announces he's going on a hunt and that Ned is to sit on the throne until his return. Over in Vaes Dothrak, the only city in the Dothraki Sea, and a place of peace where drawing a blade or spilling blood is punishable by death, Daenerys' growing connection and curiosity over her dragon eggs sees her attempt to hatch one of them by placing it upon the intense heat of a brazier. Disappointed at the lack of any baby dragon hatching action, she reaches to remove the egg just as Irri, Daenerys' Dothraki handmaiden, enters the hut. Alarmed, she rushes to snatch the burning hot egg from Daenerys' hand and is astonished to find Daenerys unharmed. Cut to the cold north and Winterfell. Bran dreams again of the three-eyed raven. He follows the bird into the crypts of Winterfell, but is abruptly awoken by a delighted Hodor bursting into his room, carrying the new saddle that will once again allow Bran to ride a horse. Bran rides through the woods, watched by Robb and Theon insists that Robb seek justice on the Lannisters for what happened to Ned and his men in King's Landing. Robb, however, is reluctant to start a war between the families, reminding Theon that the Stark house is not Theon's house. They stop bickering to find that Bran has vanished. When Robb finds him, the young Stark brother is being robbed of his horse by a group of wildlings. Robb kills two of them but is stopped from killing a third when one of the wildling group grabs Bran and holds a blade to his throat. The ensuing standoff is broken when Theon fires an arrow through the back of Bran's attacker. The last surviving wildling, a woman by the name of Osha, pleads for her life and is taken prisoner by Robb. Chanting fills the air in Vaes Dothrak. In the centre of a crowded hut, a kneeling Daenerys bites a chunk from a stallion's heart, in a ceremony that demands she eats the entire thing in one go. As she finishes the last piece, the Dosh Khaleen, the wives of Khals who have died in battle, read the omens for Daenerys' unborn child, declaring she will have a boy and he'll be the stallion that mounts the world, whose coming is foretold in Dothraki history. Drogo lifts Daenerys in his arms and carries her around the room, as a watching Viserys realises his sister is truly loved by her people. Jorah later catches Viserys attempting to steal the dragon eggs in jealousy. Jorah allows him to leave though, but without the eggs. Tyrion, still stuck in the Sky prison, manages to pass a message to Lady Lysa Arryn that he wishes to confess to his crimes. He admits to being a cheat and a liar, but insists he's innocent in the conspiracy to murder Bran. He claims a right to justice and demands a trial by combat. Ser Vardis Eggen steps forward as Lysa's champion. Tyrion asks for a volunteer to represent him, and just as he looks doomed, a sellsword, that's a soldier who will fight for whoever pays the most, named Bronn steps forward and declares he will represent. The beginning of a beautiful friendship alert. Back in King's Landing, Ned sits upon the Iron Throne and listens as a group of refugees tell of a huge night ravaging their homes. Ned realises the night in question is the Mountain, probably under orders from the Lannisters to punish those living upon lands ruled by House Tully, which is the former house of Catelyn. He strips the Mountain of his knighthood and sends 100 knights led by Lord Beric Dondarrion to arrest and execute him. Ned then orders word be sent to Casterly Rock, demanding Tywin Lannister, Cersei, Jaime and Tyrion's father, comes to explain the Mountain's actions or be branded a traitor. The trial by combat is admirably won by Bronn, and having been proved innocent in the eyes of the gods, Tyrion and Bronn are allowed to leave the Eyrie together. Ned decides to send his daughters, Sansa and Arya, from King's Landing back to Winterfell, but his decision is met by protest as Sansa declares she and Prince Joffrey are to be wed and have golden-haired babies. That intriguing description leads Ned back to the book that Jon Arryn was reading prior to his death. Under the entry for House Baratheon, he discovers that all Baratheon children have had black hair, apart from Robert and Cersei's. During a celebration in Vaes Dothrak, a drunken Viserys demands payment from Drogo for giving him his sister. Drawing his sword, an action punishable by death in Vaes Dothrak, remember, He proves his seriousness and threatens Daenerys and her unborn baby. Drogo declares he will give Viserys a golden crown that will make men tremble to behold. Viserys is seized and Drogo pours molten gold all over his head. Daenerys watches him die an agonising, but let's be frank, brilliant death. Thanks for listening. Hope it's been helpful. Listen, if you've enjoyed this, I would love it if you subscribed. We've got loads more shows where this came from, and we'd love you to join us for them. If you know someone who needs to get up to speed with Thrones, just send them our way. A 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts from would also be absolutely fantastic. If you've got any feedback, have I pronounced a name wrong? I hope I haven't. Or ideas for a show that we should be covering? We'll almost certainly be doing the big ones, but you never know. There may be others that we've missed. Let us know. I'd love to hear from you over on Twitter. You can find us at Previous Podcast, or just email us hello@previouslyon.co.uk. Previously On is presented by Jamie East and is a Daft Doris production.